What made me decide to do that? I don't know. It's certainly a challenge, that's for sure. But it has turned out really, really beautiful. I do love it.
Hey everybody, we're here today with DeeAnn in Kansas in her beautiful garden, and it's a lovely morning. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
It's just like, I love what you've done here with the hornbeams and the impatiens. And can you tell us a little bit about like how you got started, how the garden came about? Because I know you mentioned there wasn't much here when you moved in.
There was not much here. There was a fence that needed painted, by the way.
Oh.
So it did.
Yeah.
But it was absolutely nothing. There was just grass all the way back here. And so little by little, I started just kind of putting things together of what I would like to have. What would this be? And so it started with, what do you like? And so I would design on my office wall of pictures that I liked, and I would rearrange those pictures as far as what bloomed when and what color they were. And so I kind of started designing that way. And little by little, as things came about and I found things in the nursery, I would be like, oh, that's on my list. Let's get that. And so we started just putting it together. And,
nice.
So,
I think you said the sidewalk was kind of one of your first, you had to put in some infrastructure.
Very much. So when we first decided to put this together, I wanted a sidewalk from the gate to the arch in the gate, and to kind of let it reveal in the garden what it was going to be, what you would see on the other side of the gate. And so when they came to pour the concrete, they said, now, a sidewalk from the gate to gate. And I said, yes, but I want it to curve. And I want it to curve into a certain way, like like it's going to reveal what the next room is going to look like.
Like more of a journey, right?
Yes.
Like not just like
very much. Very much. I did not want a square, straight sidewalk and cut into there. And so we wanted some steps to kind of go with the grade and just let it be what it's going to be.
Nice.
So,
nice. And I know you were pointing out to me all the hard work you've done to keep rabbits out.
Yes.
That was a lot of work.
Welcome to Kansas City. We have all of the plagues, from rabbits to birds to you name it. Weather, temperature extremes. And so you have to work hard to be a gardener in Kansas City. Very hard. And we had rabbits uncontrollably. So we dug down 12 inches underneath the fence and put in 1/4-inch wire. And there's probably another name for it. But 1/4-inch wire all the way down 12 inches, stapled it to the bottom of the fence, and hallelujah, the rabbits have stayed on the other side of the fence.
That's good. Let them eat the grass on the other side.
So I'm very happy that worked out well. So not only did we do that once, but we did it twice. When we had to have the fence replaced, we chose to do it again because it was successful.
That's good. I mean, it is hard to get rabbits to keep them out. And fencing does seem to be key.
I think it's the only way, really.
I think so too.
So I've spent a lot of money on the rabbit buffet, and I am no longer willing to do that. So there you go.
Very nice. I want to hear more about this hornbeam sort of screening thing. This is so cool.
So when we planted the hornbeams, they were probably 3 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
So
they've grown a little bit.
They have grown a lot. And we trim them about once a year, and we're able to do that ourselves until they get so high, and then we'll probably need some help at some point in time. But they are a great screen, and they serve their purpose to kind of help our neighbors to have privacy, and for us to have privacy as well. But it's also a wall to kind of separate the rooms of the garden, if you will. And so as we go through the gate, so this gate I found at West Bottoms in Kansas City, which is kind of an eclectic place to find antiques and items like that. It was part of a building within downtown Kansas City. So this was a window cover, if you will, from downtown Kansas City. So when I saw that, it kind of led to be able to build an arch and what that was going to look like, and to have this gate. So I bought it and brought it home, and was really excited about it. And Greg said, do they have two? Well, as a matter of fact, they do.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, well, why don't you go back and get the second one? And I said, well, you don't know what I paid for the first one. He's like, oh, I'll get it. So I don't know how that helped us.
Yeah.
But we have 2 gates. So
Great.
we have one at the entrance, and we also have one at the exit that you'll see a little bit later.
Nice.
So,
Great.
yeah.
And then here we are in the backyard.
Yeah. So
That's
from this point
beautiful.
forward, all of the flowers in the backyard are all white.
Pretty. So
Every
pretty.
not every variety of
Mhm.
everything, but most of the flowers back here are all white.
Mhm.
It's kind of hard to do
Yeah.
because sometimes they turn yellow,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
depending on your soil or whatever else.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then they get moved.
Yeah.
So what's back here is white.
Mhm.
It's a very symmetrical garden. So what I
Mm.
have on the north side, I also have balanced on the south side as
Okay.
well.
Uh-huh.
So you'll see the snow in summer or celestrium, and then we have the New Guinea impatiens. Kind of the wall as it goes up are the phlox, tall phlox
sure.
that's there.
Coming
And
along.
behind those, which you don't see just yet, are white dahlias.
Oh, pretty.
And so come September,
Yeah, those will
August,
be
September,
lovely.
I have multiple varieties of white dahlias. And man, I love those.
Yeah.
So
So you've got
great.
like all the seasons covered, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So,
Great.
and that's the wonderful thing about a garden. Boy, they change. Like every couple of weeks, you have a new garden.
Yeah.
So, and then as you go around on the arc on the south side, so we have Creeping Jenny, which we have to keep her in line.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd recommend putting Creeping Jenny in, but I love the color of
It
that.
is such a pretty color.
I love that behind the boxwoods. Just something you don't necessarily see all the time. And then the magic wands, Veronica behind that. And then I have the immortality iris.
Oh,
And so they bloom in spring and fall.
Yes.
So kind of get another little peek of that. And then what you don't see in front of the iris are the gladiolas. And so there are white gladiolas that are dying to get going here in a little bit.
They will be soon, won't they?
Those are succession planted so that
Oh,
I'd have
okay.
them whenever the dahlias come about and be able to make different flowers and vases.
So you
and
just
variety of it.
plant the corms like some and then wait a week or so, plant
About
another
every 10
one.
days.
Okay.
Yeah. Just put
Nice.
a little few in, and
Yeah.
so they just keep coming in the fall.
Great.
So.
Yeah.
And then behind them are the Dianas, and man, I love those. They bloom all the time. Once they get going, man, there's just blooms all the way through the fall, and I really love that.
Nice.
That's pretty. Pretty wonderful.
Yeah.
And then we have the limelight hydrangea, and then some more Dianas and more dahlias that are just waiting to happen over there. So.
Oh, that'll be lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me show you my potting bench.
Oh, yes. Let's take a look at that.
Oh gosh, I am so proud of this. My husband built this for me. And again, it was coming up on, what do we want to design?
Yeah.
And so initially I had 2 windows that I thought would be here. As you're coming down, the sidewalk, you would be able to see the windows.
Yeah.
And it came out better than what I ever thought. So we found this piece, and but it has different parts to it. So underneath is a full plumbed sink.
Wow.
And so I can wash my flowers and cut and do all the things that I need to, and then put my vases over here. As well as it also has this side where I have my potting soil.
Oh, cool.
So I can pot my plants and then be able to set them here.
Super handy.
And so whether I'm doing vases or pots, either way, it's a kind of a dual purpose potting bench, and I love it.
How do you get your water?
So the water is connected through a quick connect hose.
Oh, quick connect's so handy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so all I have to do is just go around the other side, connect it, and we're good.
Perfect.
So it makes it great.
Yeah.
It also drains right into the potting tree and the pine tree, as well as the hornbeams right behind us.
Perfect.
So
that's like easy.
It's a dual purpose.
Yeah, so you don't have to have like a big plumbing thing to.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
That's
It is.
nice.
It's great.
Yeah.
It does its purpose. So I
and
love
you've got
it.
your handy little ribbons and twine and everything you need here.
So I do quite a few come homecoming, so we do some corsages, we do all kinds of flowers. Anytime my littles get in trouble, they can come and ask for flowers for their mom or Mother's Day, whatever. So I have my ribbons, my twine that I have here, and that comes very handy. I also have a little standing bench. So those are, the bricks are for my littles can stand up there, and we can make their flowers for their moms if they need to.
So the kids from the neighborhood all come and
they love that. They love that.
Help out.
Yes.
Nice.
We also have a special time at Mother's Day. They all know. They all know. So they come, and I have them sit at the table, and I have different cards that they can write a message to their mom for Mother's Day.
Oh, nice.
And then we put together a vase or flowers for them that they can take to their mom for Mother's Day.
That's so nice.
So it's a pretty popular time, but they're very well aware when it's time. So
very nice.
I see them on the street. Miss DeeAnn, is it this weekend? Yes, darling, it's this weekend. So that's how we do Mother's Day around here.
That's cool. That's super nice. So nice. DeeAnn, tell me about your boxwood. I mean, is it a lot of work to keep them all trimmed and tidy like this?
Not so much. The hardest part really is making it through the winter.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, this last winter, I thought I was going to lose every single one of them because of the winter burn. Oh, okay. And boy, they really suffered a lot.
Wow.
And part of that, I mean, as you know, in Kansas City, we have, all of the plagues from 20-degree days to 82 the next 3 days. And then it was back and forth and back and forth.
It was kind of a crazy spring for us too, Yeah,
and all of the evergreens just could not handle that. Sure. And boy, did they burn and burned bad. And so initially what I did was I just trimmed back everything that wasn't, wasn't green. Sure. And just a little bit at a time in order to get them back to where they would start growing. Left them alone till we had some new growth, and then come back in and actually trim them up so that they look like they should.
They look good.
Well, thank you.
Come through it well.
Yeah.
So, they look
so
nice.
Other things, we have the thunges in back here. And again, this is just another screen from our neighbors. We love our neighbors, by the way, all of them, all sides. Have fabulous neighbors, but it gives them some privacy as well.
It's just nice sometimes to have a little screening.
So we have that. We found the statue. I just want to say that it was extremely hard to find a statue that, number one, had all of her clothes on, and number two, didn't have man hands. So that was my criteria. We finally found her, but I had little boys in the neighborhood that lived next door, so I needed clothing was a requirement. And so we found her, and she's lovely.
That is lovely.
We get to keep her.
That's good.
And then as you walk around, again, everything that we have done on the north side is symmetrical to the south side as well as best we can. Oh, Sherry, you have to see this.
Okay.
So back in the corner are all of my bird houses.
Those are so sweet.
And they're all churches.
That's very sweet. So very charming.
Every design is a different church, even the little ones up into the tree. So
I like they're on different levels.
Yes.
And, nice. Very sweet.
Yeah, thank you. And then up here towards the fountains, we are going to be on a garden tour shortly. And I've pre-planted some watermelon for all of the littles. So anyone that's coming to visit, they'll be able to take home a watermelon start.
Really fun.
So being a 4-H kid myself, to be able to have something to start and incorporate that gardening early.
That's wonderful. That's what a great idea. That's great. And they're coming along beautifully.
Yes, so they'll
nice.
get their sun. They should be ready in another week to be able to send off and have great success.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, get the kids started early on gardening.
Oh man, all of them. I love that following.
Yeah,
that's really important.
That's good. Well, I think you have another garden here on the side for us to take a look at.
Absolutely.
I noticed there's a lot more color in this part of the garden. Can you tell me a little bit more about it?
Oh, absolutely. So welcome to the prayer garden. So this garden is designed in 4 different sections. So this garden here is all coral flowers.
Okay.
We have on the left is all pink, and just ahead we have all yellow and all blue.
Okay.
And so what made me decide to do that, I don't know. It's, it's certainly a challenge, that's for sure. But it has turned out really, really beautiful. I do love it. I have the coral peonies in the spring, and then I have some coral gladiolas. We have some mango canis that will get going, and they'll really bring on the color. And then my favorite of all are the Jump for Joy roses.
Those are beautiful.
And they're special to me because my mother picked those out, and just before she passed away. So those will always be my favorite there. And they're just,
understandably.
They grow about 5 to 6 feet tall.
That's impressive.
And they will all grow together pretty much by the end of the summer.
That is very nice.
They just take off. They're absolutely gorgeous. And in the moonlight, stunning.
Yeah.
I really like that a lot.
That's very pretty.
And on your left, we have the pink garden, and there is some controversy here. So one of my littles in the neighborhood has advised me that these phlox are not pink, but they are more purple. And subsequently, we need to be moving those to the purple garden with some urgency. So she's all about that those are not, just quite disturbed that those are not pink. In her world, they're purple. So I'm not sure if those will get moved or not, but they might get moved just on principle.
You might have to do it.
It'll be great. So yeah.
Gardening with the littles.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love my littles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So over here we have the purple garden. It is special in a variety of ways. So we have iris from my Aunt Faye.
Oh, nice.
And so they're subsequently known as Aunt Faye iris.
Iris.
Yeah,
I have some.
That's the variety.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yes. And she made all of my prom dresses as I was growing up. So Aunt Faye is in my garden as well. We have some catmint from my friend Jane. Oh, cool. Everyone needs a My Friend Jane. Yes. They really do. Yes. So just gifts. And again, we've got some dahlias, some coleus in the back. Lilac comes in the spring. Yeah. And so I really enjoy that. And then some clematis that was at my mom's front porch. Oh, neat. So got to have a little bit of that as well.
Stuff from Mom. Yeah.
And then over to the right here is the yellow garden. And it has Gerbera daisies. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. Yeah, sounds good. As well as some yellow dahlias from a friend that got me started on dahlias. Thank you, Ron and Kathy. Yeah. And then in the middle are some Sunday Gloves daylilies. And they are, I just love them. They're the softest yellow. Oh, pretty. They're very, very beautiful. Just kind of an elegant daylily.
And they're just about to pop. It looks
They are just about to pop. Behind that is a Vanessa Bell yellow rose, and it looks like a peony. Just soft, pretty yellow rose. And she will get as tall as the trellises up there. She will get going like crazy. And then in the back, we have the lilies back there that, again, are about ready to pop. Yeah. And they smell wonderful.
They should be ready in time for the tour.
They should be ready. So as you come around the corner, you'll just, when those bloom, the smell is just, fragrance. I love that. Yeah, I really love that.
Very pretty.
I enjoy that a lot.
DeeAnn, this is such a nice little spot to sit.
Oh, man. Sherry, this is my favorite place. It really, really is. To sit by the fountain, to sit in the prayer garden, and it's just calm and relaxing. It's what a garden should be. Yes. And I really enjoy it. And as people walk by and they see me sitting in here, you know, through the gate or whatever, just say, come on in and have a seat.
Oh, that's nice,
And so I really love it.
Yeah, and I see your gate, your matching gates there.
Yes, so this is the exit gate to the entrance gate that match that we received from the West Bottoms. So a little bit of Kansas City history as well. So I love that.
Yes, so it's been right. It's been great visiting here with you. It's just been really fun to see your garden and hear all your stories. I really appreciate you having us.
Thank you so much for you and Jack to be here today. I'm
glad to do it.
Love people in my garden. You're welcome anytime.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.